Hey, everybody.
Hello. Oh, it seems like we're dressed for the occasion
Did we not? Did,
for your special announcement.
yeah,
It's just
black.
it's
The screen went black during the launch. I mean, like during
I
the
know.
countdown timer, I was like,
This is
why did you go
super
black?
serious time.
Is
This
it
is
like
super serious time.
foreboding here? Oh, no.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, Ho Ching Yang, hello. Oh, this one's addressed to me. Mark, you mentioned the no airsoft gun cosplay thing again. Unfortunately, we do have lots of it here in Hong Kong, especially particular older gentlemen. Haha.
wait. Define
Yes.
older gentleman.
Well, let me tell you, because of the Squid Games last night,
Oh,
I was
God.
out in hey, good morning, Uncle Alan, by the way. Last night I was out in Causeway Bay, and we saw plenty of what I deem to see to be replica guns all over the place. Stupid.
I'm sure like a lot of MP5s were sold. Just saying. And
Probably.
revolvers
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
probably.
pink jumpsuits. Morning,
Yeah,
Alan. Morning, Bumpkin. Morning, Stu. Morning, Ho Chi Young. Morning, Winky.
yeah.
Morning,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello to everybody.
So,
Oh, we seems to be having a very serious start to the pod
it's
this week.
not that is it
It really
serious?
isn't. I mean, I think we're
Wait,
just
is it
playing it up a
though?
little bit. I don't know. I think we're just playing it up a little
We're
bit.
hyping it up.
But no.
I was debating, and Mark and I were talking about this. Like, do we talk about what I'm going to talk about now, or do I wait until later this week when I do like actual video on my main channel, my primary channel? But I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and like
Yeah.
this is like because this is like more intimate. It's kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah. This is personal.
I say it's
you
personal, but
know?
it's still on the internet, right?
Well, true. I mean, but it's personal. I don't know where I was going with this, but it's personal enough.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. So what are you drinking today for this lovely, lovely, lovely
Bumpkin's drinking
evening?
Folgers. Oh, wow, we gotta. Actually, you're smart man there, Bumpkin. Like you give the Folgers to the guests, and you drink the good stuff for yourself. For me, I did a Costco run, so in this glass, you probably can't see it. Maybe is some
Water?
what? Costco
Water?
margarita. Yes, exactly. Costco margarita. Man,
That
you're
is it.
good.
Ah, nice. Very good. Yeah,
So I'm
I am
doing.
having a you actually drank this one time. This is
Mm-hmm.
the Chuhais. So I'm having the peach flavored
Oh,
Chuhai today. Uh, if you like that how to put it, that artificial peach flavor, like peach candy, you'll like this.
okay.
This is exactly what it tastes like.
Like
It tastes like
super peachy,
yeah,
over the
artificial
top. Yeah,
peach. That's what it
artificial
tastes
peach.
like.
Your artificial peach is in another castle.
Yeah. Ooh,
That was a bad joke.
yikes.
Anyway,
Yeah. But
see,
for this series though, I have to say, the apple is the best.
so the apple one is the one to go
The
to.
apple one is by far and above like their best one, and I
So they
would
do
say
what?
number two would be this.
Peach, apple,
Yuzu.
yuzu. All right.
Yeah, it says lemon, but it's a lemon icon, but it's basically the flavor is yuzu.
Yeah, I noticed that here too. Like, because obviously my reading Chinese sucks. That sometimes like I'll see a lot of the chuhais, and they'll look like a lemon, like legit,
Yeah,
and then but it's actually yuzu. And I'm like, well, that's a lemon on the like yuzu looks totally different when you cut it. Like,
yeah, yeah. Or like I think like whenever I see a lemon, when it comes to Japanese stuff, I just think that it's just citrus in general.
yeah, it's just some random citrus.
Yes, some
Unlike
kind of
here,
citrus.
like we talked about, lemon is green.
Lemon is lime. Lime is lemon.
Lemon is green and lime is yellow here in Taiwan, for real. Alan's drinking the Sumatra. Oh, Keurig kind though. The lovely taste of plastic in a Keurig cup. Keurig is a very American thing too. I don't think I've seen Keurig. Do you have Keurig in Hong Kong?
No, we don't.
All right, we don't either here.
No.
Super American. I don't think they have it in Europe either. If you guys
I think
don't know, Keurig's like these little plastic pods, like in a coffee machine. You just like drop the pod in, and
Oh, we have those here. I mean, but it's just by Nescafe.
but it's the Nescafe. Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
have too.
yeah.
Like everywhere's Nescafe, but they do like the foil ones. I think that are better off.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
the guy
I know
that
exactly
invented-
what this is. My dad has one at home.
Yeah, like my mother, like everybody. I
Yeah.
even used to have one, right? I mean, like I think everybody on the planet has a Keurig. It's like
Yeah.
kind of the default, and you can get whatever brand coffee. They have like hundreds
You can
of
blame
different
Costco.
coffees and teas. And, yeah, blame Costco. See, we were talking about Costco, right? I had Costco margarita here. I got Costco sushi. Got a bunch of stuff. Hey, Freedom
Costco.
762.
This episode is sponsored by Costco.
I wish. Holy
Oh,
moly,
oh
I
my
wish,
goodness.
man.
If
Like-
only it was.
I would bring out my random cardboard box full of my Costco haul and show everyone if it was brought to you by Costco. I'd be
Yeah,
happy if
it
they
would-
just pay for my membership every year. I'd take that.
Yeah. Oh man, that would. Oh
I'm
yes.
cheap, man. I'm cheap.
Dude,
Didn't make much.
That would be so worth it. Or if they gave you like, they'll give you the free membership a year and then with free shipping.
Free shipping. I would do that. No, Costco's about the experience of going, man. You got to go. You got to just like.
I mean, like, so do you guys like your supermarkets over there? Do you guys like you can buy an X amount and then the supermarket will deliver to your house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that would be cool.
Yeah. I think
Do the whole
does-
Costco experience.
But
and then
Costco does
can
online
ship to
here.
your house.
You can order online. I think.
Well, that's not fun. It's like going to Sam's Club. You got to go.
And I've tried to explain Sam's Club. It's like Costco, but it's owned by Walmart
Yeah.
to people that live
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, Misaki, Nespresso costs too much. I'll tell you, Nespresso really is the value. Like for me, I actually years ago I made probably one of the better investments of my life, even though it cost a bloody fortune. One of those full in, all out.
Proper coffee machine.
Proper coffee
with
machine.
The press and
No, not the
everything.
press. No, I'm too lazy for the press. If I had to do press and like tap and I would never make coffee. I'd be like, no. I got one of the who makes that? The Philips Norelco, but it's the next one up. It's the where it grinds your beans. It like presses the espresso for you. It pours the drink. You can either put the milk like module in there. You fill it full of milk, and it will actually make you a proper latte or a cappuccino with the foam and
You
everything.
steam the milk.
With a one button. You don't even use the wand. You just hit the button. And that was like, I've used that multiple times a day, every day for years now. So probably, I think I did a math and I was like, okay, it'll pay for itself in about a year and a half. And it's like been 3+. Like that's the geek in me, right? I'm running the numbers. So
Yeah, for sure. Like the producer got me a French press and I use that like religiously at work. But then at work, we after we moved locations, Max convinced the boss man to buy us an espresso machine. And then so every month, I think we do 2 orders a month per person. And then we just get sleeves of these capsules.
Yeah.
And then like we're going through coffee like it's running out of style, man. It's
And
crazy.
hey, if the company's paying, keep drinking, right?
The company has paid for the machine, and we just got to buy the capsules. So like I'm doing maybe I have a bottle of coffee on my way to work. I'll have 1 cup before lunch, 1 cup after lunch, and then 1 cup before I leave work.
Wow. That's a lot.
I mean, it's just a flavored drink at
It
this
is.
point.
Yeah, it's bean water, man.
Yeah.
Something we were talking about, I got to do it again because I'm going to look like a drug addict in a second. We were talking about this before the show.
Oh yeah. This is the.
Have you seen this? Like Misaki, I think
Well, I
Alan, I
have,
think
yeah.
everybody knows. Like a lot of people know. This I call firewater. This is like level. They have different levels. This is Santine. This
Gotta
is
love
the
it.
Sente FX Neo,
Yeah.
and they have different level ones. They have like mild level 1 as I drop it, all the way up to level 5 out of 5. This is a 5 out of 5 one. These are firewater eye drops. Yes, the eye drops that burn, and this is the most. Well, they have a gold version. It's one above this. It's like 5+. These are awesome. But oh my god, they have like vitamins, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Alan has the gold one. Yeah, I've got the gold one somewhere. But I've got an eye drop.
I love how they all like these Japanese eye drops, which basically fire water for your eyes. Their advertising is so peaceful and so serene. It's like
Oh no.
a bamboo lake with water rippling, and the bottom is your eyeball. It's so peaceful
Right
until
now-
you drop it in there. It should be just hard rock music. I swear to God.
it's like the doom music just kicked in,
Yeah,
right? For me, that's when my
exactly.
eyes are closed. Like literally, like the eye drops go in, you're like, oh, it's great, and then the doom music kicks in.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
right now I'm so red eyed and but they'll be like pure white here in like 2 minutes. They're so, yes. And I do 100% Misaki in chat. And by the way, if you guys are watching the show later, guys and gals, you really should try to jump on live. I mean, we're pretty interactive, as you know, with the chat. Misaki absolutely got me hooked on these. Like, I remember the moment I was like, man, my eyes are like kind of dry. I was like, Misaki. Like we were walking through, I think it was Osaka at the time. It's like, man, do you have any eye drops? He's like, yeah, here, let me give you these. And it was like, I think it was a mid-level tier one. It's like a 3 out of 5, or now that I know. And I put it in. I'm
3 out of
like,
5.
I'm just like blind. I'm like, oh, okay, to drop these in. And like by the time the second one hit my eye, I was like, What did you give me? Oh Lord!
It's
Now,
just 3 out of 5.
yeah, but I wasn't expecting it, right? I wasn't like prepped for eye drops to like actually have burn to them. And right now
Right.
there's a cooling effect, so they're like now I've got like minty fresh. So I
Jesus.
wasn't expecting it. So it was just like this unexpected, like just boom, like oh, and then afterwards I was like, oh my gosh, that's the best feeling ever. So exactly,
Yeah.
finish him. That's what I feel like. I was like, oh wow, now I've elevated up to like the almost most powerful one.
The gold one, man.
Well,
I
you
don't
saw me,
know.
like I was fine this time, but when I first put him in, it was just like,
Oh yeah, like your eyes would get like bloodshot and just
yeah, it's good. See, now they're already cleared back.
yeah. And then after we talked about that, we talked about like the eye washing one, right?
Oh
You know,
yes, the
you
eye
put it
wash.
over your eye and you have to open your eye and you kind of wash your eyeball.
So what you get is you get like a bottle of like eye wash. It's like I don't know, big huge bottle of eye drop or eye wash stuff, and then you get this cup, this little weird shaped plastic. It looks like half of a pair of swimming goggles.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
like swimming
Yeah.
like the little tiny
Yeah.
goggles with the little strap that goes
Yeah.
around. Not like full on, but like the ones you
Yeah, it's
swim.
yeah, like you go like Olympic swimming or like whatever, just like this little ones.
Yeah. So it looks like one of those. And you put the liquid in there as like a line, a fill line. And then you like put it and it's like kind of rounded so it cups around your eye socket. And then you're supposed to lean back and like open your eye and like just shake and it cleans your eye out. Like
Yeah.
all the
It's
gunk.
supposed to be like, I think the problem would be like trying to tell yourself to open your eyes.
Hmm.
You're there like this, like open your eyes. No, I can't do it. Ah.
Alan's like Via Roto eye drop. Yeah, he like Alan's got always got the names.
Oh yeah.
But these are
Uncle
good, man.
Alan.
These are like very, I don't know. These are Asian things. God, I'm like Butterfingers today. Here they're kind of pricey, but when you're in Japan, they're actually really good. Especially go to the tourist shops that are.
Yeah.
They always have like you can only buy two of these with the, at one store, but you can go to the next store and buy two more. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah, we have those ones, and we have two, I think two other ones from Japan. Like they're these different color ones. Is like there's one that's kind of like a green color.
Mm-hmm.
It almost got this kind of diamond shaped, bottom. And then we have that same brand as like a blue color as well.
I'm looking for my green one right now. I think I got it right here somewhere. Might be one of my. I'm digging through my backpack. That's like right below the. Yeah. Yeah, where are
Got
they?
it.
Anyway, I was digging for it. I'll find it. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. I usually have like every bag I own has like some eye drop tucked away in some little pouch somewhere. It's pretty.
Hey, you got to be prepared, right? You got to be prepared.
Yes, like every bag's got to have one. Like, and they all have different levels of power. That and then oh, this is something else we can talk about. That's very Asian. And again, we're totally postponing the.
Yeah, I was about to say you're totally beating around the bush here.
On purpose, man. I'm trying to really.
Just like
These things, man.
home.
The combs that you get at every single hotel you stay at. Now, this is something to talk about. The comb on one side, the brush on the other,
Right.
that are in every hotel room, which if you're from Europe, if you're from the States, they don't give you a full selection of toiletries when you go stay at a hotel room. But here, every hotel, you don't even need to bring stuff with you. They have everything.
Yeah,
Toothbrush, I mean, the works. Yeah, I don't have the
Yeah.
green eye drops with me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the like every time when we go to Japan, I always accidentally overpack like my toiletries when, really realistically, the only thing I used to it got to a point where the only thing I used to only pack was my hair product.
Mhm.
And then I realized, well, I can just go to Family Mart and just buy hair product there.
dude, they had the
You know,
craziest family. Like, I
yeah.
remember walking past one shop and they had Dragon Ball Z branded hair products. And depending on the
Yes.
effect you were looking for, it was like
Yes.
the trunks,
different
right?
hardness.
They had the
Yeah, yeah.
trunks, and they had like
Yeah.
the
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
That's
And
the
then they had,
hardest,
they had the
right?
super. No, they had like the Super
Yeah.
Saiyan one. Like it was
Yeah.
like super hold, right? So it was like
Yeah,
popped
yeah.
up. I'm not like you can't make this stuff up. I saw
Yeah.
that I was like, that is the absolute best merch tie-in ever. Like
I always
absolutely
thought-
ever.
I always thought like, Goku's, but I think it was like the black normal Goku. I think that was like the more pliable one because his
Yeah.
hair was like that way. And then the Super Saiyan was like the super hold.
Super
'cause
hold,
it was
yeah.
straight up, yeah,
Like rock hard, straight up.
Yeah. I always remember like my biggest thing is like seeing the anime or the video game tie-ins for all these products was when I'm in Namba walking to Kuruma Market or walking past Namba Station, there's that one kind of big family mart there that they always do stuff with not Dragon Age, Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest, yeah, because they always all the
Yeah.
Dragon Quest characters
Yeah.
are like stuck on the wall.
Yeah.
Like you go in,
It's
the whole place
always
is themed
Dragon Quest. Yeah, it's always Dragon Quest. You can get like Quest plushies in there.
Hmm.
You can get like some of the merch in there.
I know the
Yeah,
one.
so-
I've walked
yeah.
past it so many times.
Exactly. It's across the street from Namco. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, that's yeah. So if any of you guys are Dragon Quest fans, that's the one you guys want to go check out.
We have some of those here, and they're like, it'll be like Hello Kitty themed, or like there's one that's a Line Friends theme, but it's always the same. Like it's like that is the themed version, and it's the same. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
It doesn't rotate out. Like they're scattered. They're like one here, one way over there. It's usually in the Shimen area, which is kind of like our, Taiwan's Akihabara, really.
Your hip area
Hip
in
area,
Taiwan. Yeah,
so.
the hip area. So I think we've been.
Have we drugged this out long enough?
I
Have
think
we-
that was time to. I think there's point number 2 is I think very poignant that a lot of people may be looking for.
Point number 2. So actually, I need to move the text. I jammed the text up into you. I just realized that
It's all good.
because I had to get it. Because like, anyway. So let's
yeah.
talk about why everybody's here. Okay? Do you want to guess? Okay, let's play the guessing game. Herman's like, let's guess in chat.
Yeah, you chat. Throw down some guesses. Like, what do you think it is? I will go out and say, he's not pregnant,
Yeah.
and he's
Really a
not,
donut
and he's not
fan.
married. Yeah.
I will promise you this. I will not sell donuts ever again in my life. That is a certainty. That is a absolute certainty.
No more
OF?
donuts.
I don't
Aw.
don't say what Stu wrote because I don't want us to get like totally like killed. Yeah, OF? No.
Yeah,
no,
OF.
No OF. No.
Man, they'd pay you money to put your clothes back on.
They probably would. They'd be like, it's
Yeah.
reverse OF, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
you start off
People-
unclothed, and then like, please send like and
for
more.
$5 a month, I put my clothes on.
Yeah, so no one has to see what I look like, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
wide
right.
open. Like the channel's open, and the more
Yeah,
you pay, the more
yeah.
closed it gets.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It would be like one of those like help feed a starving child. It'd be like help clothe Jonathan on OF.
All right, let's see. Just got here. Jonathan has it. No, I haven't announced it. Razvan, nothing yet.
Okay, so
New patch business. No, so the patch business is still going. For those of you that don't know, I kind of spun it away from Airsoftology, simply because of like advertising tie-ins, the way that the advertising system works on Amazon and all that. I'll kind of address that. That if it's tied in with the Airsoft brand, you can't run ads on Facebook or anything. So or into IG or anywhere, Google ads. So I spun that off. Actually, for those of you who live in the States, I'm actually selling on Amazon now, so I can do like quick fulfillment. I mean, it's actually up there on Prime. So
nice.
shameless
Very
self promotion right there. So
So good, so good.
but yeah.
Masaki said, "We talk enough about Japan. We're finally moving there."
Yep. No,
I
not
wish.
moving, not moving to Japan. No.
I wish.
Sorry on that one. No disappointment. But no,
He
I
did
will
give
s-
us a really good idea though, because we're close to Okinawa. We can actually take a boat there, row a boat there,
of
and then
course
we
we
just do
row.
a domestic flight.
Yeah, you're right. We could sneak in that way.
Yeah,
Just on the
exactly.
side,
You know.
then just take it over. You're buying us a puppy. No, not going to buy you a puppy, and I'm not going to buy another puppy right now either because I travel too much. As much as I love dogs,
True.
and I
True,
miss my
yeah.
corgi. I gotta. Maybe it's time to get another dog. Not right now. So this one's probably going to blow a lot of people's minds. A few of you in chat
Please
do know what's up. I've actually what?
wait. Let me get
You
another
were
drink.
such a teaser. Oh my
Wait,
god!
let me get another drink.
You totally CB'd everybody. While you're doing that, I'm
Let me
gonna
get
turn the
another
aircon down. It's sweaty in here, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, and just like that, I have another drink.
Oh wow! Like brought to you. One, something airsoft related. Rastvan launching his own line of guns, like Novrich, maybe gives up on airsoft. So, I will start by saying airsoftology will be changing some because of what's happened. You guys, I think some of you know me, my YouTube world, like Mark's day job. We both were in the airsoft world or are in the airsoft world. But airsoftology is, let me be clear, not ending. It's still going to go on, even though you've noticed that The videos have kind of been really intermittent lately, and you're probably wondering, well, what the heck am I doing, right? I've been incredibly busy, but on the surface you wouldn't see it. So with Airsoftology, it's going to continue on. In fact, it's going to get back to becoming regular with a focus on Q&A more now.
Oh,
And I
very
will be
Airsoftology.
removing most, if not all, of my product reviews going forward. I'm going to leave my back catalog up there because that's all done.
Yeah.
But future forward, I will not be really doing many product videos. I'll be covering more news, dealing with questions in the industry, focusing on that part of Airsoftology. Because I've thrown my hat in the ring and I now have a new company. This company's been in the works for probably a year now. So it's been a long time and it's evolved. It's grown. It came from an idea and now it's massive. And the website's live already. I've launched it officially, I think, yesterday or day before. The company is called Senpai Distribution Group. And as the name would guess, I'm opening an airsoft distributorship in the United States.
Wow, guys, that's big news.
Yeah,
That's
now,
big news.
I'm not doing
That's
like what
big
Novrich
news.
does. I'm not doing
Yeah,
what
that's
Novrich does.
big
I'm
news,
not doing my
man.
own branded things. I'm actually bringing in airsoft products from Asia, from Taiwan, from all over, and I'm distributing them in the US. And the other big news is I'm the official distributor of BCM Air for the United States. So that's the first launch. The container is loaded on the ship finally. Oh my gosh, you have no idea what that took to get.
Oh, trust me, we've had many a chit chats, but Jono has to like vent, and he'll text me, and he'll be like, "Yo, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. They won't X, Y, Z." I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
"I'm
It's
here,
like
bro.
this and
I'm here
this.
for you,
and,
bro. Just
like-
I'm here."
like I placed the order so many months ago for this stuff. Yeah. Oh, you
The
switched to
Yuzu
the
version.
Yuzu, yeah.
Yes.
So
Had to hand off the Apple, back over to.
Yep. So
the
starting
producer.
off, we're doing, starting off that's, again, this could be like half shameless self promotion real quick. I'm going to be carrying all the full line of BCM Air products, sans GBBRs. I'm not going to do those simply because of ATF issues, because of the VFC line. It's just so good, so real. I
Yeah.
don't want to wander into that risk, but it's going to be AGs right now. A significant shipment. We're not talking like bringing in 100. We're talking in the thousands of units. Same with the inventory for the entire line of accessories. So we're looking at flash hiders, the works, everything like that. I'll also be carrying some spare parts, full warranty support. We're doing warehouse. Warehouse is based in the States, so full distribution from the United States. That's been something I've been working on. So you got to think like what's been happening the past 6 to 12 months is coordinating warehouse, setting up a business, doing so many of these things to get a company from nothing built up. And it's a team. This is a team effort too. This is
Right. Jono, can you add the link to the
Sure.
website in
Sure,
chat? Yeah, so this has been a huge undertaking for you, man. I mean, I think, and it's also such a natural, evolution from where you are doing content and then now you're doing distribution. And I think, a lot of people who watch, I think, express this is like, it's
That's
really good to
quick.
have your hands on to see what people are going to get at the end, at the receiving end. So I think that's really important. Like I'm so hyped for you for this
Yeah.
for this thing.
Me too, man. This has it's like I've been wanting to share this with everybody. I mean, that's why I've been teasing it for so long, and I know you've known for a little while, but I mean, even then, I've been working on it long before that. So for me, that's a big focus change. Obviously, that's why I'm not going forward. I mean, I'm still going to be like talking about some products that are out there. I mean, obviously the easy mode stuff. I still have a few different things. In fact, coming up, maybe behind me. Actually, it's down the hall here. I've got a product video coming for an accessory for the Chris Vector that I think is quite amazing. It's great. That's going to be my next video review. So that thing is cool. I'm still finishing up some catalog of some things that I think are still good, still definitely worthy for me to finish those obligations, still do those videos, talk about some really neat stuff. I'm still going to be sharing new products, even though these are ones that I'm not going to carry even. I think it's important that I still do what I've been doing for the past decade
Yeah.
and being neutral, being and focusing on the community, right? Like
Yeah.
all of us as airsofters, we have enough battle outside of our community, right? Like
Oh, tell me about it.
our products look like real guns, and there's so many other things like that that we all need the best positive view on our industry. And I think it's important that I continue to do that and share the positive message. And that's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
like it always has been, helping, growing the sport, growing the community, trying to find positive things and all that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, the same idea of like, when let's say you're a salesperson and you're on the sales floor all the time, and you finally make that transition up to back office or whatever.
Right.
You want to also, understand all the emotions and all the feelings of that, and then take that positiveness and, push forward what you got going on with this new thing. So this is definitely a plus plus.
Yep. I like Herman. Herman got the joke. So, and even the company name, I'm always a little tongue in cheek. I'm always a little, dad joke, a little
Yeah.
humor. So like I had to go, but I came up with the name was like Senpai. Like, well, I was like, what can I do? I was like, oh, Senpai. Because it's like, I'm from Asia, but it's also very
Yeah.
funny because it's not a Taiwanese word. It's a Japanese word.
Yep.
I'm not bringing anything
Yep.
from Japan, so,
Hey, you never know.
so, but that's something very good. I've
Yeah.
been really happy, and this is like kind of the moment to share it because it's kind of like a group of friends here right now with our chat. What we do, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do watch later, but it's a little more intimate when we do it live here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely good that you'd be able to share this with everybody, in chat. Just the some of the things that you talk to me about after our Monday shows. Sometimes like we finish at like 11 o'clock. 10:45, 11 o'clock here,
Right,
and then we'll talk into 12. I think last time we talked until like 1:30.
almost till one.
No,
Yeah, one.
yeah,
Something,
you're going through all the BS that you had to deal with, with the shipping and the container and everything. Just
And-
I'm just glad that I was able to be there and sit there and just let you talk into the microphone for a
Right.
little bit.
And if you guys and gals realize, if you go back in my video catalog, you'll see like, one Q&A video I did was I talked about like, let me explain to you what's going on. Like, this is a different video. This is the shipping challenges in Asia, right? It was
Yeah.
kind of my way of venting. Like, I had an education on logistics. So now that I'm aware of this, like, hey, let me share this information with the community, the airsoft community. So you're kind of prepared that, hey, there will be some price shift, right? And I think Herman has a great question. He goes, so are you moving back, meaning moving back to the States? The answer to that is no, not really. I will be in both places. And I think that is something that's really important. And I'm trying to set myself apart from, I think, maybe the traditional way of building a distributorship, right? Because currently you either have like, you're in the country you're in or the region you're in, and you're importing products in, and you're working your connections. I think for me, the unique position is, being here for 4+ years and also being from the States, and I'm focusing solely on the United States. I think there's a question earlier. Ho Chi Young was asking, it's going to be reverse. No.
Yeah.
The focus is solely on U.S. market, period.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And I don't want to overstretch. I don't want to start getting into markets and areas I'm not familiar with. For those of you that know me, you know that I really do my homework, and
Yeah.
I only want to dip my toe, and I don't even dip my toe. I go all in on
Yeah.
something have educated myself on, and I feel comfortable tackling the airsoft market in the United States and providing a niche of products that will help fill some blanks. And it's going to be very specific. I'm not going to be a huge, massive, wide stocking distributorship. I'm not going to have
Yeah, of course.
5,000 SKUs in my inventory. Because right now, I think the focus is too, there's so many companies out there. There are huge airsoft retailers in the States, right? There's a few of them. And there's also some, like, hundreds of airsoft retailers, like brick and mortar shops, smaller onlines, and fields. And I think all of us are trying to figure out how to make things work. So it's like, how do I balance, make sure that those shops are making good money? There's a really good product. Those shops can make enough money to stay in business, because the small shops and the big shops both have to exist for
Yeah.
airsoft to work. Like you
Yeah.
work for a huge online retailer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but without you, the small shops would wither and die. Without the small shops, well, the other way around, like without small shops, you would wither and die because
Yeah. Yeah. Needs to
they
be a
go
healthy
and they buy
dynamic
the
there.
product from you. You can carry product the small shop can't, but the small shop
Yeah.
can do upgrades and they can do things and they build the community. And it's I think a lot of
Very
it's
true.
us versus them, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's we're all a group from the player to the factory that makes it. So I think for me, being on this side, it lets me check the product to my level of satisfaction at the factory side.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing reviews for 10 years. I kind of think I have a decent idea what, these things should look like on the inside, right? I would hope.
You would
at
imagine
this
so.
point. So,
Yeah. So what's
okay,
the
Tulsa person asks. Okay, yeah, it says right. So you're asking, hey, why can't I add something to a shopping cart? Because this is U.S. distributorship, right? The product is on the water, and my focus is making sure the retailers, the shops, are the ones
Yeah.
moving the product. So if you notice, like, hey, here's a big product list. Here's prices. By the way, those are MSRP prices. They're not going to be MAP prices. The MAP prices are going to be a little less, and that's what you're going to see. A lot of shops carry at MAP, and the shops will be selling this. So when they do land, I'll be sending all of my product out to the dealers, and that's where you're going to pick it up. So while it looks like I was trying to figure out how to do a site where I could show the product, but I know you're like, well, I can't add to a shopping cart, right? There's no, if you notice, there's no shopping cart button, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not a commerce store. I'm not going to be selling direct to the consumer. I'm not going to be selling to the end user just because of the same reason I said. It's super important that these shops do it. I could take that approach. I think Navrich does a fantastic job doing that, doing the direct to consumer approach. And I'll be honest with you, there is a whole lot more money to be made doing that approach, right? And that was something I'll be candid. It's like, for a second I was like, well, do I do this, right?
That's so much extra work though.
It's not just extra work. It's
Yeah.
counter to what I've been preaching for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's so important. And I have friends in company. I mean, there are friends in chat right now that work for other companies that are actually now potentially a little bit competitors. And these are companies I've supported, companies I've promoted their product, even lately. And I still will continue to do that because it's important we are all
Yeah.
doing this together.
Yeah. So true.
We can't be infighting, man. Like let the consumer, let the player make the choice of what they want. There's some fantastic companies out there producing some amazing products, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That are as good and in some cases maybe way better than what I'm going to be bringing in. And I think that there are a lot of times where that's the choice that somebody should make, and that's great. So, yes. So Ho Chi Young, it is B2B only.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm doing B2B, so I'll be distributing in the States only. So I won't be, right now, I'm not going to touch Canada just because it's a little of a weird market. In that
They got some things going on up
There's
there.
some things
so
going on.
They got to sort out a few things up there first.
Right. So I'm going to stay within my bound. I mean, I've got a ton of work to do. And, with logistical issues and all that, I mean, supply chain, right? Like getting product is the huge challenge right now. So I got
So let's talk about the second
to do.
thing. Let's talk about the second thing here then. You're a stranger in a strange landscape.
Yeah.
So expound on that a little bit. You kind of dabbling, in this distribution kind of thing.
You would say
What
dabbling,
have, what have you experienced from this?
So for me, it's again, I think I touched on it earlier. It's like educational experience, right? Right? I've got a chance, I think, a very unique perspective that over the past 10 years, I've had a chance to see how this industry works
Yeah.
and what's been successful, what's not. All of us looking at predictions of how the industry might go and has, and sometimes hasn't. I've been dealing with speed bumps, roadblocks, meaning COVID. I'll say the ugly C word on here, and a lot of things, right? It's just really changed the dynamic of everybody's business, right? We're all like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
Jesus.
be clear with you. I'm going to be as transparent as possible. Like, and this is something I want to start doing too. To give you an idea, I mean, containers used to be $6,000 a couple years ago to ship your product over, right? I paid north of $30,000 US.
Oh man.
for a single 40-foot
Yeah.
container. And that is normal rate. And I'm going to share this with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. Like, I think a lot, like, I don't know. Some people, I think some companies are maybe a little afraid. I mean, it's like they're corporate, so it's like they can't, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and that's a normal number.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not out of bounds. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
25 to, I mean, you can watch videos on YouTube right now. People talk about logistical, shipping products,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah. That's starting
25,
point,
30,
20 grand.
32.
Yeah.
Yeah, end to end, door to door. That doesn't
Yeah.
count tariffs and taxes that I got to pay the U.S. government and things like that. And that's
Yeah.
just for shipping. So when you look at it and you think, okay, well, I could fit, depending on how your container's laid out. Let's say you jam it to the brim, you can fit maybe 1,400 rifles, and that's to the roof, right? So
Yeah.
1,500 full size AEGs on there. You got to split that shipping cost among 1,500 pieces. Let's say so that's what $20-ish, give or take, versus a couple years ago it was a few dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is an interesting situation. Whereas $4 and now it's 20, right? And that's if you can jam it to the roof. If you
Right.
can get it to the gills full.
Some people don't, right? Some people
Well, you
don't
can't.
want
I mean,
to. Yeah.
Well, you can't. I mean, how tall can you stack a pallet, right? I mean,
Right,
pallets can you
yeah.
fit on there? It's like 18, 17, 18, I think, to get on there. 18 to get on a container, 40-footer. But these are all things I've learned, right?
Yeah.
But it's affecting our industry, right? So it's like, I think my fear is also we're seeing more affordable products go away and things like that. So
Yeah, that is so true. That is definitely the one big thing that I have noticed as of this last, I think, leaving, I mean, going midway through 2020, I think the writing was already on the wall. I think affordable airsoft guns are really taking a big hit here. Like they either really have to step up their game or they're just lost by the wayside.
But
Like,
how do you
there's,
step up
like-
your game when you can't get IC chips? Because the IC
Yeah,
industry is so
exactly.
backlogged.
Right.
So you can't throw a MOSFET in one, right?
I think this is where LCT did a pretty good job with, right? Like, cause like their guns are not super, electronic up.
Man, I'm telling you, like, after, like, you can watch, I mean, again, shameless plug, I get a full video tour of their factory.
LCT.
Yeah. Like,
Nice.
and when I talked to the boss, he was like, show everything. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like no. It's rare I walk into any place, they're like, you can show everything, Jonathan. I'm like, okay, you want to see? Yes, show everything. And I was like, okay, cool.
Well, his boss kind of a baller too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
And
he's kind of a baller.
He's like doing the welding in house and the steel stamping in house, and I think he's
Yeah.
still building it. I think it's super smart. His niche, and this is I think
Yeah.
where you really need to stay in your lane, right? Like so many people, I think overstretch. It's so easy to overstretch and get out, and you end up overextending, right? That his is like focusing on like classics like the G3s, and the old HK style, HK51s like that, but mainly G3
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah.
AKs and all those things, right? And it's
Yeah.
stamped steel, it's welded, and make just a good solid basic gearbox. Don't go wild with it, but just make it work, right?
Yeah.
And he's really found his market, and I think he sells. I'll be honest with you, I think he probably does as much in the U.S. and Asia as he also does like in Russia. I think he's
Oh yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
we can barely keep them in stock,
Mm-hmm.
with us. And anytime I rip one out and do a review, it's always good views, right?
Yep.
They're always good views, and they're very simple machines, right? They're not very complicated AEGs. They feel good to shoot. You can just feel the gears work in it, And I made a comment one time when I was talking in a video. I said, like, it's so good to just kind of shoot something that is just like, it's just gears and electronic, and that's it. Like, there's no MOSFET, there's nothing. And it just feels good to shoot. It's like almost driving a car with no turbo, right? It's just a naturally aspirated car. It feels good. You feel the power. It's just
And he
it's
focuses
yeah.
on the authenticity of the build.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
think
yeah, for sure.
that's it. And it's just, again, it's a niche, right? I mean, you can get into actually, and you got some people like, we got Razvan saying some issues. So, and you're always gonna have limits too. I mean, that's my experience. Like even like I've been running my patch company for 7
Right.
years now. If I try to do QC checks, I still catch them. Like when I'm filling orders, like doing wholesale orders, things like that. Then I'm like, oh, this one's got a problem. And then sometimes you'll have a batch that come in, and you're like, wow, 30% failure rate on these. I got
Yeah, gotta send these back.
right, and one of my set of patches. I just had one. I was going through. I was like, God, like 30% NG. Like they're not good. I can't. Like so,
Yeah,
I'm just pulling them
yeah,
out. I'm like loss. But I mean, it's life, right? But and you can QC check them. You can do samples. You can do all that, and then final production, you'll have just changes. And same with AEGs. Like sometimes you're gonna have it. Sometimes, how long did the thing stay in a warehouse, right? You could have a bad subcomponent, like a
yeah.
motor, which comes from China, right? And because that's where all the magnets come from. So, and like there's like very, very, very few companies that are making motors. So
Yeah.
you could have a high failure rate on a component like that. You can have a high failure rate on electronics right now because of the the issues with IC chips. You know,
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
so, but yeah, that's it, man. Like I've got like where is it? Somewhere around here. So where did I put that white bin? It's over in there. That area behind the edge of the curtain here. I've got like a bin of every single BCM product, and I've got like the AEGs and everything all piled up. But when it comes to Stranger of Strange Land, it's kind of a two thing. Like I've learned a lot about the business side of airsoft by living here in
Right.
Taiwan.
Yeah. And it's also very different kind of business, to be honest. Like I came from a very corporate background too. Like we used to do a lot of luxury product, audios, hi-fi, cameras, jewelry. That's what I used to do before airsoft. Wine and beverage, as well. And like coming into airsoft with that kind of thing, with that kind of background, I thought it would be kind of similar, but it's actually there's a whole lot more to it than that stuff.
Yeah, I think because we're a maintenance hobby. I mean, everything you buy in our industry, especially if it's a primary, like a primary or secondary, like a rifle or a pistol or something,
Yeah.
there's a maintenance component to it. It will. We all know for a fact at some point it will break.
Right. And also like it's the fact that it's a gun,
Yeah.
right? That's also like it's just like somehow it rubs some people the wrong way and getting
Yeah, man,
because
I've
we
been
deal
dealing
with
with
it
that.
a lot,
I've been dealing with that. Like, good example, Amazon. Like, I have some patches where there's guns in the image, and I have one of my patches. I was running Amazon ads and against it, and they were like, "This thing's been flagged for violation of our policy for selling firearms parts." I'm like, "Huh?" It's like, "What are you talking about?"
What?
And I went and appealed it. It was auto. It was like basically somebody reported it because there was a gun in the picture. Right? It just triggers people, right? And that's just. And I know we're talking to a pretty captive audience here, but.
Come on, Karen.
Yeah, it's just, and there's people that really have nothing else better to do. They're like flag. Like that's all they do all day long. It's like, oh, this triggers me, so I'm gonna do it. And I get it, but are you out picketing an action movie? So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Sometimes it is a bizarre industry. That's for sure.
But with airsoft, I mean, we're in a very difficult situation. I mean, like none of
Yeah.
us can advertise our products, right?
Yep.
So it's still the way it's set up. You can't use Facebook ads. You can't do Instagram ads. You can't do YouTube ads. You can't do Google ads. You can't do cable television in America ads. There's just no way to advertise. You can't do newspaper.
Nope.
So,
Man, I kind of feel like we're in the same boat as Marlboro.
right, pretty much. But that was even a self-imposed ban with them in magazines.
Oh
So-
man.
Oh man, let's see. Like nothing's Ho-Ching, Nothing Forever Parts 2. Like there's certain pieces in airsoft guns that are designed to be the eventual failure point.
You'd be surprised how many messages we get. Like I get DMs and in our customer service, and they expect these things to last forever. I wish that they all had your kind of sensibility.
Yeah, I know. Like
Oh man, my
Again,
goodness.
that's the world we live in. Like we know these things. So
Yeah. And also, it's sad. I think Razvan was talking about, his LCT, had some issues.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, sometimes they're just lemons.
Yep.
And but for the most part, and honestly speaking, I think like everybody who's texted me, about product and stuff like that. I've always given my honest opinion. Like if I've never used it, I'll never say it's good or bad. Right?
True.
If I've never tried it, never had an experience with the brand, I'll never go out and say, "Oh, it's not good because I don't like it for whatever aspect." Right?
Or I heard a rumor on this Reddit subreddit somewhere.
Yeah,
that
it's
said it
definitely
was
not what I
trash,
do, right? Like, and anybody asks me anything about the Norwich guns, I always say the same thing, right? Like, I can't give you an answer because I've never used one.
I got
I
a
can
boatload
say,
of them.
you know,
I think I mean,
I've
I'll be honest with you. The stuff Novrich puts out, I've yet to be, and it's this controversial. I'd say the way I'm about to say here, I've yet to be disappointed with anything he's put out that's come across my desk. It's always performed. Now, again, does that mean I got like a reviewer sample that's been tested 50 times? Or is it a factory sample? I don't know. I've received some directly from the factory, so I doubt that I'm going to get super special QC treatment. But in those cases, I think it's good. Now, some people may balk at the price, and it's pretty premium, right? But I've yet to be disappointed with anything, and I probably have like 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe almost less than 10, but more than 5. So probably at least Novrich items, at least in my possession right now. So
yeah.
it's all.
I think the only one I've ever used was the OG SSG24. When I went to go visit Caroline and Kevin up in Sweden, and Kevin had one, and I used his. It was all right. It was pretty good.
But you're not a sniper guy, man. Like I think too. Like you're not the target market for that.
Well, like I don't think I was until like now. I think I'm way more serious about it after doing a lot of studying with the Silverback stuff and going pretty deep into what they do and listening to what they're saying, like their engineering behind it. I think now I am in a way better position to understand the snipers than I was back then. And back then I said it was pretty good, but I still think the best thing to do to your sniper rifle is to throw like the Wolverine HPA engine in there, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For my playstyle, I'm not. That's why you won't see too many sniper rifle videos on my channel, just because it's not my total core audience or playstyle, really. I mean, I've enjoyed it. One of my earliest. So I started off with the P90. Well, when I started playing legit, not collecting but playing. P90 was one of the earlier rifles I took out to the field.
Me too.
And then I got into sniping when I started upgrading, and I played a lot with this upgraded APS-2. I mean, a lot, and it was so freaking hot.
Yeah.
Like knocking on the door of 700 hot.
Oh, wow.
High 6s, and I'm not exaggerating. The bolt was nigh impossible to pull back. I used to challenge, I think I may have told the story on Airsoftology. I used to challenge younger players, like, sub, 15. Like, hey, look, if you can cock the bolt on this, I'll let you use it today and play with it. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. Nobody ever got it. I never once had to give that thing away. It was that hard. It was like they would try and try and try. The secret was you had to actually shoulder it and then put your thumb on the back of the bolt and just drive your shoulder blade back like you're doing like face pulls, right, man?
Yeah.
But that was the only way you could do it. Like, and I would do it, like I'd do it real quick. I'm like, here you go, and they're like, oh my gosh. And then they try it. They're like, they pull it like halfway back and spang, and slam forward, and all upgraded with Japanese stuff. Yeah, that was
nice.
But the problem with that is I would pop people from so far away. They would pull it. So
true.
And that was way. I mean, this is like pre-Airsoftology days. This is like 13, 14 years ago, right?
That's a long time.
That's a long time ago.
So, being a stranger in a strange land. So, other than BCM, how has like kind of like the sourcing process gone, or like what are you looking at other things?
So many things, yeah, and it's making the right decisions.
What can you talk about, right?
Not much, simply because the sourcing cycle is so long, right? You need to find the right product. You need to find the right product with the right margins. I need to make sure it's the right product for the U.S. market.
Right, the price got to be right.
Price got to be right. I got to make changes potentially, or tailor an item to the U.S. market. I got to make sure, and again, the price has got to be right for the dealers, because I'm in the middle, right? So I'm kind of playing like a weird game. So BCM is pretty easy, right? Like here's a void, here like there's a distributorship possibility. Let's put these two pieces together, right? And the factory sets the price. I've kind of got a rough general idea of what the end price should be, and then we got to figure out in the middle, right? Like how everything goes,
Yeah.
and then all the surprise games of shipping costs. But it's not just that. It's like you said, it's sourcing. It's finding the right products and knowing the market and the niche and what's out there. And
Yeah.
it's interesting. But I will say this. I'm going to focus on specifically the top 33% of the market, meaning the more experienced advanced players,
Right.
simply because at this moment, it's not really financially viable to bring in something that is a mass market for like the beginner player. And I feel
Yeah.
bad for that because that's most of the people that watch my channel is beginner to intermediate. It's really difficult. I think that market, what's going to happen there is you're going to see a lot of the newer players come into the secondary market, meaning we're going to see a
Yeah.
lot of the used products start to roll in, and new players will end up with used products.
Yeah.
They'll go from rentals to buying used instead of rentals to buying a combat machine or
Yeah.
King Arms Poly or a Lancer. Well, Lancer's still around. They actually have been getting product, but even if you look at Specna, which doesn't really have too much of a footprint, I mean they've got some of a footprint in the States.
Who is carrying Specna in the US right
I
now?
think at one point Evike was distributing Specna. I'm not
Right.
sure anymore. I mean, they're dominating Europe, right? Because they
Oh,
fit
yeah.
that nice
Yeah.
low to middle band, right? But again, like that low to middle band shifted, right? It's not
Yeah, that's for sure.
$99 for an entry level gun anymore, or 129 or 130. You can't do it. You just can't do it when you have 20 or $30 of shipping cost.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like just looking at brands like, what's that brand called? Amoeba. When you see
yeah.
Amoeba's getting more and more expensive, when they're creeping up into that almost that $300 range, then you're like,
Yep.
this is indicative,
Yeah. And that's Aries. I mean, they're doing a lot of their production. They're doing mixed between you
Here
guys,
and
Hong Kong,
Taiwan.
and then
Yeah.
Taiwan. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they were smart. I mean, they saw the writing on the wall way back in I think like the AS01 days, the OG Striker days, and they came and had a meeting with us at the office, and they said like, one of the big things that they were really proud of was they actually moved the complete production of the Striker straight to Taiwan because they said the polymers. It was easier to do. They had their factory do all the injection molding there,
Yeah.
and I think now that they were definitely ahead of the curve, and now they're just cranking out more and more
Right.
product. And I think Hong Kong is more like their design hub now.
I visited their place here. It's impressive, man. They got a pretty sizable footprint in Taichung, and it's good. So for me, I'm kind of in thing. I'm not manufacturing anything myself, but I am always looking for the right fit. And I think what's really important, one thing too, and I know this is controversial, is just making sure that this isn't a race to the bottom in the industry.
Yeah.
And I know some people may be like, oh, and again, the consumer in me, I always want something cheaper, right? And I think this comes in Stranger in the Strange Land. I want newer players to get in the sport and hobby. I want people, like, that's what I did forever. Like, and I still am doing. I want to help the new and middle-aged players. So this is why I think Airsoftology is still going to work, because I'm still going to be helping this band of players. Because when you get to a certain point, you don't need Airsoftology anymore. You don't need my help. You don't need my questions. The questions I answer. You're educated, right? You're the one giving advice at your local field, and you're helping the younger players, develop there in a grassroots. Or you're going to Milsim Ops and traveling around for that. But it's funny. My customers is here, and Airsoftology is here, so there's no overlap. It's like it's kind of like a strange thing. I think the issue is what happens, right? Like how do we keep that bottom half going? And I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, CA, it's funny. Herman just said CA. CA's been dropping some product in the States.
Right. I don't know. Like, I think CA's been making a comeback, but then again, CA's also been making a lot of money because they've been selling face masks here. Like that. Look, man, I am starting to see the classic Army logo at pharmacies, and it is just the most funny thing in the world.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. I will go and find it, and I will send a picture to you.
Send me a picture like the CA with the trigger.
Yeah. It is literally the classic Army logo. It says Classic Army on it. Okay, it's a C8. I swear to God, I was going to buy groceries with, the producer was with me, and we were going to buy groceries, and I look up, I'm like, that looks so familiar. Oh my God, it's Classic Army.
I knew they switched. Yeah, I knew CA switched, and this is smart. This is kind of like a good story to talk about. Like me, I'm going
Yeah.
from YouTuber guy to also distributorship. CA, like, they saw it in the market, they switched and they started making masks. I remember somebody sent me photos of their first few machines dropped off in their warehouse, and they were running masks. I'm like, who's this? And they're like, oh, that's CA. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
CA's
Yeah.
doing masks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See it, like it's got a huge like Classic Army like logo either on the bottom or on the top side.
Yeah.
It's it's it is.
But
what
it's
it
funny.
is.
I've seen their first shipment of product hit the States, not masks.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised, like, oh, they're still around. I've noticed with CA though, it's like their shipments to the States have been burst.
Yeah. Well, they also opened a brand new retail store here too.
Really, because they had one
like
there
a
for a while.
landed. Yeah, they closed. They closed for sure.
I
Now
remember
they have
were
like a
upgrading. They
brand
moved to the new
spanking
one
Yeah.
before.
Now
That
this,
was 4 years ago.
you remember where Armed Forces the store is? Where they have that big LED TV screen with Matt's face playing on it all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
It's right next to them.
Really.
Yeah, it's right next to basically WE.
Wow.
And
okay.
and then it's so funny, you'll have simultaneously, because they did the same approach, they also have a LCD screen or LED screen on the outside, and they play reviews that have their products with, right? So you'll see Matt with a Classic Army gun, and then you'll see Matt next door like with a EMG salient, right?
Did they play
It's
any of my
just-
stuff? Because I did a lot of CA stuff back in the day.
I think I have not seen your face yet, but I've seen like some, like it's every time I'm there, it's always Matt.
Matt,
It's always
I did
Matt,
a lot of stuff
right?
for CA USA back
Yeah.
when Peter was like the distributor. He owned
Yeah.
it was through Spartan, or actually post Spartan, it was CA USA. But yeah, Peter Ho was doing all that and bringing the stuff in. I worked with Josh, who's their marketing manager, and Josh has moved on to a different company. But yeah, I was doing that for a while, and went there to their location. They're in the Bay Area in San Francisco, and did a lot of filming up there. And then I did a lot of stuff back when I was working at the same time working with GI on some of the things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a tie-in with GI, because GI seems to be the only one carrying CA in the States.
Wasn't GI also kind of tied in with Lancer for a little bit? Like they were doing hella Lancer.
I think that's a strategic alliance between GI and Megastore in the States.
Right.
I think that's really what that is. So I think that's why it seems that way. I mean, I get all the marketing emails, right? And I see a lot of stuff from GI promoting Lancer. And I think that's really coming down to, they're probably one of the few companies that are still putting out your entry to mid-tier guns and doing it, bringing them in. I look, I'm like, how are they bringing in $180 guns right now? Like,
Yeah.
when you look at 30 for shipping, and that's 30 added to the bottom line cost of your product, right? And then, so you have your cost of your product, and then you have tariffs and taxes on top, which is roughly 5%. So then you get 5% add to that, and then you got to put shipping smack on top of that, because shipping isn't calculated, and at least they don't zap you for that. Then you get shipping dropped on that. So, and then you got to leave enough room, if you're Lancer, you got to leave enough room for your distributors, and then you got to take your wholesale fee, right?
Yeah.
Because you got
I
to
don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. Like for us, it's kind of weird. Like, right, like so where I work, traditionally we've always done like the higher end stuff, right? Like they've all
It's always
been,
been, yeah.
it's always been the more expensive stuff. So anybody think about like where I work, they always go, oh, they sell the premium stuff. So it was only kind of recently over the last couple of years that we've been really kind of now filling in the entry level stuff, the Arcturus. We just got our first shipment of SEMA.
Really? So turrets, I know Henry, WGC shop was like really crushing that. Like they were doing shipment after shipment after shipment of that, like bringing.
I mean, they're good looking guns. They're so basic,
But
right? They're
for
so,
the
but they
price
look
point,
good.
They look
they
good.
look
For the
really
price
good.
point,
Yeah.
they really. And I've done a few videos on the Arcturus product. And sorry for those of you that aren't into airsoft. You're dealing with the airsoft show this time.
Yeah.
That they really are like, for the price, you're buying like, run of the mill internals, right? Just
Oh yeah,
put it
I
there.
mean
It
they're just
works.
generic
It
as generic
works.
can be.
Like
Yeah,
it's kind of what. But externally, they're great. So there's this amazing platform to get into, like way affordable. And if you want to upgrade it, you can totally do that, and you can make
yeah.
a beast. So yeah, but Luke just jumped in. It's like, if you don't mind working on gun, like on airsoft, buying used is the way to go, especially high end stuff because it depreciates like crazy.
Oh yeah,
I really think that's the future for the next year or two. I think there's a couple. I think the trend in airsoft is going to be, and everybody says, "Don't give away your secret sauce." I'm like, I'll tell you what I'm kind of seeing. Right, is being on both
yeah.
sides because this is me. Used market's going to come around, secondhand. Of course, it's always volatile because you don't know what you're getting. I think shops are going to get more into the buying used again and reconditioning and doing shop certified. The shops that have savvy tech people. So
Yeah.
you're actually be able to buy a reconditioned item at a discount price from the shops. I think that's going to be a trend, a big trend in airsoft is these shops doing that because
Yeah.
they're going to need to move product and they can't do it. You're already seeing it in the car industry. Like high-end car
Oh my
companies are
God,
asking
yeah.
people like turn in your leases.
Please, yeah.
We'll
Please
give you,
buy our
like,
new cars.
yeah, they're trying to get inventory, right? So they're asking people to
Yeah.
bring in their leases early so they can flip the used cars. Because
Yeah.
the used car market, because IC chips, none of the new stuff's coming in. And we're seeing the same thing in airsoft. And I think we're going to see that.
Yeah. I also wish that, the secondhand market in airsoft was a little bit more robust. I mean, just like, where do you go and sell your secondhand stuff?
Hop up.
Like,
Hop
other
up
than
app.
that, right?
That's it. You can't really on eBay effectively, and you can only
Yeah.
sell to shops.
And here, same thing. Like there's something called T2 Toys here, and that's basically where you have to post all your airsoft stuff.
Yeah.
I
In
just
the
wish there
States,
was
it's
a,
Hop Up
you know,
app. Hop Up app. That's
Yeah.
it. That's really it. And then it's always questionable. I mean, they thank goodness they do like, seller, profiles where you can see if it's worth. If
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
trustworthy or not. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think a lot of the sales are happening at your local fields. Like, hey, I got this for sale. I mean, I used to, a lot of my reviews items, man, I would end up with just piles of stuff from reviews, and I would just, keep the ones I love for my collection, right? And then a
course.
lot of stuff I would just take out there and have like my blowout, and like I couldn't tell you how many times I would just go and see like a new player or somebody I've seen out there. Oh, this kid's been here like 4 or 5 times. He's with his dad. I've seen him like that, and he's got like a real basic, like
Yeah.
back in the day, like a Walmart shooter, right? Like some of those remember the Black
Right.
Ops guns that Walmart had, like it was
Yes.
$99, right?
Oh,
They legit have a plastic mech box inside,
it's what people think airsoft is.
right?
know.
And I would just be like, hey, like I see, it's like, hey, you want to try this? I got this as a review. I'm like, let the kid play with it, like let him go out. I'm just gonna say kids.
Yeah.
I mean, like, in airsoft, like in the US, airsoft like 12, 13, 10, 11,
Yeah.
insurance will take it down to 10. But like these are like 12, 13, 14, right? Pretty young. And of course with dad's permission. And you go out and play. Like, oh my God, it's so fun. I was like, keep it,
Yeah.
like one of those situations, right? And
Yeah.
just, let it go to a good home. Like let
Yeah.
it let like hopefully keep a new player in the sport, right? And he can go get his friends. Now he's got the coolest gun on the block, right? And then all of his friends will start playing, and then they can, come out to the field. And now you have
Yeah.
8 or 9 or 10 new players, right? And we can continue
Yeah,
to grow
for
the
sure,
community.
for
And
sure.
that's how the community grows. That's it.
I wish I got to keep all the guns I review.
True, man. God, you get some good ones.
Gosh, I wish I got to keep all of them. I'll only keep the choice ones.
Yep.
Goodness.
But back to the secondhand market, man. I think new, you're going to see a lot of companies shift to smaller footprint items that aren't in a massively huge box.
That and upgrade parts, man. Parts
Yeah,
have gone
parts.
through it's gone to the moon. I swear to God.
Really,
Yeah, man. We can't keep them, and we can't keep enough of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think COVID has really kind of rekindled the desire for people to
Hobbyists.
want to learn. Yeah, to want to learn how to tech,
Mm-hmm.
and want to have a relationship with their gun, and I think that's really cool. And to see the interest in people have to like, okay, number one, I don't want to buy a base gun like a entry level gun anymore, and then number two, they want to spend that time to go and build up their high kappa, build up their AEGs or what have you, and to see that we can't keep enough parts is great. I mean, look at our Prometheus catalog. It's it's
Yeah.
it's bearable. Like 1 minute it'll be super stocked, and sometimes
gone.
I'm walking, and I'll be walking through the warehouse, and I'm like, oh, it feels good, and I'll just
Yeah.
text Masaki, oh, I'm looking at all your guys' stuff. It's so beautiful. I leave and I come back in and it's gone.
Yeah, it's like, what happened here?
Yeah,
This is all here.
it's all gone.
Like Herman saying, like full tune-up kits need to come back. High-speed helical. Oh god, the whininess of a helical. But yeah, Misaki saying can't produce enough. Misaki worked for a high-end parts company. Lilacs.
Award-winning.
Award-winning.
Parts. Yeah.
Multi-year. 7-time award-winning? Am I right?
I think so. I think it's like, something like that.
7? Maybe more?
Or like 10. I think like they've won
After
it
I
every
can't
single
count on
year,
one finger,
right?
I just don't know
exactly.
anymore. Right? It could be
Exactly.
50. But yeah,
At this point, like, why don't they just hand it to them, right?
right. It's good. Give them
Just
everything.
call it the Masaki Award.
Yeah, literally just the Misaki. Make it like the trophy, just him.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's coming back. I think the golden age of teching and all that is going to be back. And I think it's the hobbyist side, right? And that's, we're all this talk about hyperinflation, superinflation. I've been listening to news stories about this. It's real, right? And it's real because, I hate to say it, we're all going to be a part of it. I mean, I'm looking at, like, again, I keep going back to this container cost story. When you used to pay $4 to move a product, and now it's 20 to 30 US dollars to get that same product from one location A to B, right?
Yeah.
And just landed at your warehouse. Not counting the extra cost of UPS, FedEx. Well, not FedEx, only UPS ships products in the States, Airsoft products. So the added cost of UPS now to get it to that last mile or freight or whatever you're using. It's just the movement cost of that product is incredibly expensive, and
That is true.
adds to the price. So you want to know why airsoft's going up? There's 20 to 40 extra dollars worth of shipping costs
Yep.
in that product, and nothing else. And then don't get on about material costs, like the cost of raw materials, aluminum, steel, zinc alloys, and then also manufacturing, CNC, molding, metal molds, injection molds, extrusion, polymer. I mean, all these things. So. But yeah, this is the word. This is the world I'm living in. So yeah, Stranger in Strange Land. I've been doing a hardcore education in manufacturing from a different perspective. I've seen it for a long time,
Right.
but a different view on it. And
Yeah, that's for sure.
still a lot of respect for all the big players in this. There's some companies out there just doing some crazy good work. I mean, like really. Like I said, Crytek's pushing out. But I think shrinking of products, that's going to be it. You got to fit more into a box, right? More into that big steel container. I think guns like the Vector, smaller footprint, still premium, still awesome. That's like
P90, all that. It's just
MP5s, like it was, like all that stuff. MP7. Those are all, I think, going to see a big push because you can get more, and you're now, if you can jam more in that big container that you're having to spend $30,000 on, it's not $20 or $30. It's maybe 16 or 17 or 15, right, per product, right?
Yeah.
And that can help, especially if you're living in that mid to high tier range, and it's not as painful, and you can absorb the cost. You can help keep the cost down for the consumer, for the person who's buying it.
Yeah.
Where you and I have been for a decade.
Yep. Well, I think we've hit everything here, and let's kind of go through what people, what our comments and questions were throughout the show. I think everybody got some really good comments and questions in today.
Yep. So who's shocked? Who's really shocked? A lot of guesses like, oh, the patches, this and all that. Who's like genuinely shocked that, like, I went full in on doing distribution? Like,
No, I was.
yeah,
I was like, what?
yeah. So I'm
Man,
curious.
like,
Let's see what chat
I
says.
remember you told me in the first year, you were like, oh, I got some news I got to tell you. My mind was thinking, oh, you're going to move back to the US.
Yeah, he's going back to the States. He's gonna move
Yeah.
there, right?
And it's like, no, I'm going to be distributing BCM in the US. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what, nani?
What? Yeah.
What? What?
Yeah. It's a big thing, man. Like, not shocked, but I'm surprised. Yeah, Alan. Yeah, Uncle Al.
Uncle Alan. Stu, I'm unsurprised, but nonetheless excited for you, man.
Yep.
I can't say it with enough of a British accent. I tried.
Yeah, you need more.
I need
More
more,
RP. More
what
RP.
whatever it is, I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, things in the airsoftology side are going to be somewhat same as usual. Just with, I just think as much as like I'll be introducing still the what I think are cool products out there,
Mm.
just because I want to share that stuff with people, because I still love this hobby, man, the sport, this everything. It probably wouldn't be perceived fairly if I'm continuing to do product review videos. If
Right. Yeah.
I'm distributing competing
Yeah.
issues.
Fair
Like
enough.
I'm not
Yeah.
making stuff, I'm distributing, but I'm still in a competitive position. So I just feel like it's the smartest thing for me to do is kind of, I probably have 600 product reviews on the channel. I think I probably hit the max, right? We're pretty good. Like what else, how else can I say it? So step away from that a bit.
Alan's good question. Good question from Uncle Alan. Will he see you at SHOT Show 2022?
Probably not SHOT Show because of quarantine challenges here with
So
Taiwan.
true.
They've
Yep.
shifted, actually, just news today. They've changed. So
Oh.
IWA might be a heavy possibility at this point. I don't want to make any
Ooh,
promises, but
sugoi.
SHOT Show, no. Also, SHOT Show falls so close to Chinese New Year that
Oh yeah, dude.
flights, hotel, like so hard. But IWA might be a possibility, simply because we went from a 14-day quarantine to a 10+4, and the 4 can be done in your home. So it softens it a lot.
Right.
And so that really changes things. It makes things easier. Also, if you are double dosed, fully dosed, vaccinated, then you can quarantine with anybody who's in your household as well, and not
Right.
have to have separate hotel rooms and separate places to stay afterwards. So they finally relaxed it. That was just announced today. So it's really good news. So now I'm starting to look at, okay, E was on.
Right.
Is E on? E looks like it's very on. Yes, 21 plus. Oh my gosh, 21 days.
Well, that's what Pilot Nick, right? Dude, that poor guy. He's been in quarantine for 27 days.
Where are you, Herman? Where are you, brother?
UK.
UK, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So, Jesus, 21 plus 7? But
Yeah.
like the UK is like the incubation plate, for like every new strain. I swear, I don't know what it is. Misaki's
Herman,
like,
you're in Hong Kong?
oh, Hong Kong?
Really?
Huh?
Yeah, UK. No. Hong Kong is 14 right now.
Oh, it's
Also
14.
depends on where you're coming from. If you're
Yeah.
coming from the UK, then you're
Yes.
kind of
Yeah, UK, it's
you know.
no go. Like there's 3 countries
Yeah,
on
I mean,
the. There's 3 countries on
You're
the.
surprised that they let you in if they let you in.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying.
So to go back, it was like that's the rule, but India, Myanmar, I think, Burma, whatever, and then the third one's UK are
Right.
No, totally different rules for those. So that's a government quarantine hotel. Good luck.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's definitely like it's just been a pain in the butt here, man. Like, to be honest, like it's a 14-day quarantine, like no questions asked. Like you're in and you're paying it out of your own pocket too. Like, bro,
well, that's what it is here. It was, well, now
Yeah.
it's softened a bit. You're in a government mandated quarantine hotel, and it's
Yeah.
out of your own pocket. You have no choice. You have
Yeah.
to go to these, and they're all overpriced, man. They're all.
Yeah, exactly. They're always the top tier hotels too, right? It's
There's some garbage ones here that are overpriced.
well, true. That is true. But like, the quarantine situation here, it's just not been fun.
Yeah.
I think we're not having an explosion of cases. I think we're finally at a point where I feel like the government has actually come out and said we're at a point where the vaccination rate is relatively high. Not really. It's a 60+% right now. It's not 70 yet. I don't know how Japan got to 70. Y'all crazy. You're not crazy. You guys got some highly efficient, ways of distributing your stuff over there. But
You kidding me? We're doing 200,000 jabs a day here. In a country of 23 million.
yeah,
200,000
Yeah,
a day.
that's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
So-
dude, like they announced the Yeah, they announced the vaccines here back in March, and we're just now at about high 60s.
Yep. Wait, UK's at 80%? 2 dose? Really? Wow. Alan, coming to opening the doors to other people. So, no news yet on that. So the gotcha is on that one. From what I understand, it will be slow. They're still saying potentially post Chinese New Year ish. They're really saying by like maybe summer we're going to start seeing relaxed. And I think it's
Yeah.
going to get reduced down to like you're going to have to be double or fully vaxxed. You're going to have to come from a specific list of countries. You have to still provide negative tests and one on landing. There'll still probably be a quarantine policy and process for that. So, I mean, all those things are going to be in place. But so I wouldn't expect to be open borders, come in, land, and go do business anytime soon. I mean, right now we're at like, we've had like 1 or 2 domestic cases like a month. Just random little like bloop. This just appeared from nowhere. We have no idea where this guy got it. Right.
I
Usually
think
it's
it's time to open up.
somebody having to leave or somebody needing to go somewhere, like or somebody checking into the hospital and they get tested and they're like, oh, they're positive. Like what? Like, you know,
I think like this now in 2021, 2022, I think it's time that, we got to all come together and start moving forward. And
Yeah.
I think we have better knowledge. The vaccines are out. People, look, man, whether you take it or not, that's your choice. But like, I think, the technology's good. It's been safe. I've got mine. I've been fine,
Mhm.
and I think it's something that I think it's time for us to
My second's tomorrow.
move on forward. Oh, nice. That's good, and
So I prepare to be relatively sick for the next few days. It's AZ, and that first one got me for like 4 days. It got me.
well, maybe the second one would be okay now.
Maybe
right?
we'll see. I'll let you know.
Yeah. The second one did hit me pretty hard. Like I got the Pfizer one. The second one did hit me pretty hard, but I don't know whether it was the Pfizer vaccine or I was kind of hungover because I went drinking that same night. So
Well, it says 2 things. Like I've been hearing that anecdotally, I'm not spreading false information, that at least the people I've talked to, the people that I've talked to, the Pfizer/Moderna, like the second doses hit them harder. At least the few people I know, like the people I personally came in contact with and talked to about it. But it seems like the AZ, the first one hits you harder. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, like for sure, like the Pfizer one supposedly it is a little bit more potent. But
Yeah.
then again, I
right.
can't.
It's a
can't
different
do one
type
with
too. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor,
sure.
right? Like at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. E-house is you're right, man. My 5G reception.
yeah, 5G. So eHouse, when did you join, man? You just get on?
Oh man.
So if you just got on, what you missed was I'm now I have a new company and I'm the BCM air distributor for the US. So congratulations. Now you're all caught up.
Yeah, there you go. E-house hit a new bench PR that day. He got
Yep.
his second dose.
Potency
Potency confirmed.
Right.
Yes,
there you go.
sir. There you go. Oh man.
Getting swole. Gains, man. I've been out, dude. I've been slacking. I got to get back on the.
Yeah, I did some chest. I did some chest today.
I need to-
feeling good.
I got to do
Got a
shoulders,
good
man.
pump today.
I got to get back to this.
Yeah.
But tomorrow we'll see. I don't want to push myself after the shot. So
Yeah, fair enough. I think
you
you
do
should just kind of take it
shoulders,
easy this week.
shoulders after that shot. Oh, it's gonna hurt.
Oh man, it's just terrible. Oh man, like after that first shot, I got that first shot, and yes sir, International Chest Day. Yes, I got that first shot in my left arm,
Mhm.
and it just felt like I did like a week's worth of shoulder flies. It's just
Yeah.
I was
Like,
so sore, bro.
Oh, I know. I'm not looking forward to it. Like, we'll see. I'll let you know tomorrow how it works out.
Yeah, great.
But no, thanks everybody. Thanks eHouse for the kind words. Thank you for, let me scroll up. Luke, thank you for the congrats. I didn't miss that. I had to scroll back up there. But yeah, it's big news. I'll keep you all posted. I'm debating on chronicling my new life as just a business owner in that aspect. I mean, like I said, this is not my first or my second business or my third even. I've got a lot of background. For those who really know my personal story, I mean, it goes back to owning a design company back in, God, long time ago, to food trucks, to, you know, a lot of different things. I've got a lot of
Jono Donuts.
Jono Donuts, man. Like the O's are donuts. 2 O's for 2 donuts, right? No, it wasn't that. But it was Loco Donuts, actually.
Nice.
So, you know, it's not my first rodeo. You know, I've done YouTube, I've done Patch Company. This was a little different, but not hard. It's just, but it's challenging. It's not hard, but it's challenging. I think that's the best way to say it. Like every day is challenging, but I'm excited. It's gonna be good. Looking forward to it, man. I could do a little, maybe, I don't know. I've debated doing like the vlog-ish style of like, here's my life, here's my, you know, everything and what's going on. I'll let you have like a window into like what it takes to run a distribution company and import.
Are you're gonna do like an official video on the Day Job channel, right?
Yeah. For real. I'm gonna do like, this is kind
Okay.
of like a sneak peek for just the, like, for those of you in the know that join us here. I know it's a little different than our normal content here, but it's kind of big, and I want to kind of, like Mark and I talked about, letting it drop here.
Yeah.
But there will be an official video on the channel this week. I'll be talking about it if I'm not super AZ shot hungover. So,
If you're not too drugged up.
yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good because you know, I think we have a lot of industry friends here too. Like, you know, Herman's also my colleague from UK, and you know, we're good. Like, I'm sure a lot of people here would love to just share your news too. You know, like I would be able to do it. You know, share your news and, you know, for the Day Job stuff, and I think that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So next week, back to our regularly scheduled.
Yes.
Maybe food. Let's do some food. It's been a while since we've done food.
Yeah,
We're gonna do
let's do
food
some
next
food.
week.
Yeah,
We'll figure out
yeah,
what it is.
Yeah, we'll do another food challenge next week.
Yes. Oh, food challenge. We got to figure.
Yeah.
Mark and I'll figure out the food challenge for next week.
Yeah.
So
I think you can go and definitely tell people this news. I mean, the website is live.
It's live. Absolutely.
You know,
like this is
Jono-
wide open. So
Yeah.
I mean, like you can go to. I mean, Senpai's live. I mean, literally on Senpai it says, like, about Senpai. Hey, started by Jonathan from Airsoftology. I mean, it's like it's on there in text.
Really?
Yeah, it's on there in text.
Oh, nah.
I'm not hiding it. So yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So, anything else? If not,
man,
we
I'm
can
good.
just
I'm totally
wrap
good.
it up nicely here, and then we'll see y'all next week.
So
If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and also share it with your friends, and go follow us on Facebook.
anybody's interested in the airsoft world, I know this is a little bit different. Share it with them. Let them know about this,
Yeah.
and you can help break the news by just linking this live stream. It'll be live. It'll be posted after this as a replayable video. So
Yeah,
you can always do
for
that.
sure. Yeah. All right. So until next time, everybody, stay hopped up.
Yep. Stay hopped up. See you next week.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Bye.